Hello everyone, I'll be presenting you our project Detection of Abnormal Heart Sounds. So why are we trying to detect abnormal heart sounds? Because cardiovascular diseases are the number one cause of death globally, taking an estimated 17.9 million lives each year. And the heart sound signal is very important signal that can help us detect cardiovascular diseases at early stages and guide us in the diagnosis. Our problem is to classify whether the heart sound signal indicates abnormality or not using machine learning. We have shown here the graphical representation of heart sound. The graphical representation of heart sound is called as phonocardiogram. As we can clearly see here that the heart sound consists of multiple cardiac cycles and each cardiac cycle is made up of four components, namely S1, systole, S2 and diastole, and this pattern continues. We are using PhysioNet computing in cardiology challenge dataset. Our training set consists of total 3,242 heart sound recordings. Those are divided into two types, normal and abnormal heart sound. The normal recording were from the healthy subjects and the abnormal ones were from the patients with confirmed cardiac diagnosis. Our first step in the process was the feature extraction. For each PCG signal, we did pre-processing to remove spikes and normalize the data. Then we decided to segment the heart sound recording. That means finding out S1, S2 systolic and diastolic regions in the heart sound recording. We used Springer's segmentation algorithm for this. After segmentation, we found out features for each segment and created our dataset consisting of total 120 features. Some of the features we extracted are mentioned here. Apart from the dataset which I just explained, we also created two more datasets without segmentation. One consisted of 40 MFCC coefficients and another consisted of 193 features made up of MFCC coefficients, chromogram, spectrogram, and tonal centroid features. So in total, we have three datasets created using three feature sets FS1, FS2, and FS3. Remember these terms FS1, FS2, FS3 as these will come in next slides. When we had our datasets ready, we experimented with different machine learning algorithms and found out their relative performances. Inspired by previous paper, we decided to implement their architecture of an ensemble of variant of AdaBoost called as AdaBoost Abstain and CNN classifier. Here we worked with our segmented set of features FS1 to feed in as an input to AdaBoost Abstain classifier. This classifier is basically an ensemble of weak learners where each base classifier is simple decision stump over our features. Each base classifier is also allowed to abstain from voting by giving an output of 0. For a CNN part, each PCG recording was decomposed into 4 frequency bands, and each of these was fed into separate CNN. The outputs of 4 CNN are flattened and fed into shallow feed-forward network. At the end of this feed-forward network, an output layer with sigmoid activation gives us our output label. The final decision rule is given by setting separate decision threshold for AdaBoost Abstain and CNN, and if any of the two classifier scores exceed their threshold, it is classified as an abnormal PCG. Otherwise, it is a normal PCG. For all experiments, our scores are obtained on the validation set of 301 recordings containing 150 normal and 151 abnormal sounds. Our precision recall and F1 score for the ensemble model are given here. Our next experiment was with two-layer LSTM, and we experimented with all our feature sets FS1, FS2, and FS3. We decided to experiment with LSTM because uh, our data have the temporal nature inherently. The results reported here are for FS2, that is the 40 MFCC features, while we also ran experiments on FS1 and FS3 and reported them in our paper. We also improved upon the results in our paper compared to those displayed here for FS2 by enforcing more dropout to encourage regularization and tweaking the hidden state size. This is the plot for FS F1 score on FS2, where using early stopping we did not allow validation and train curves to diverge much so as to avoid overfitting. We used SVM with RBF kernel and linear kernel on all sets of feature FS1, FS2 and FS3. RBF expectedly performed better than the linear kernel because it is able to find non-linear separation in original dimension space. It is also noticed that we got best results with FS3, which was consistent with both types of kernels. Thus, we notice how all our models perform over different feature sets and how some models like LSTM are able to work well on feature representation that encodes sequential and segmentation information, while other models like SVMs work well on standard features like MFCC, chromogram, and spectrogram. These are the resources which we referred. Thank you.